Afterburn is an inverted roller coaster located at Carowinds. Built by Bolliger and Mabiard, this attraction opened in 1999 and was originally called Top Gun: The Jet Coaster. The ride stats: Afterburn is 113 feet tall, 2,956 feet long, has a max speed of 62 miles per hour, and features 6 inversions. Presentation. The theming aspect pretty much stays with the sign and model jet that is located near the center of the roller coaster. The theming is lacking, but the use of terrain and foliage is very well done. The coaster is now over 20 years old, allowing plenty of time for the trees in the surrounding area to grow in, hiding the roller coaster. In fact, the only place that you can see this coaster will be riding on another attraction or standing close to the coaster itself. The color scheme with gray tracks and blue supports is nice but also somewhat basic. All in all, theming and presentation gets the job done. I'd say that Afterburn earns a 7 for this category. Again, the real saving grace is the surrounding foliage. Ride intensity. Afterburn starts by climbing to its maximum height of 113 feet. The ride uses the terrain, so at its highest, you are standing out from the hill. The coaster takes the traditional B&M swooping drop to the right, following right into the first inversion, a vertical loop. Without losing a beat, Afterburn enters its second inversion in Immelman. Continuing the momentum, Afterburn flies into another inversion, a zero-G roll, as you fly right by that mock jet statue. The coaster now dives down, flying into the Batwing element, which is made up of 2 inversions. This is where you'll experience the strongest G-forces. Afterburn takes a little breather by popping up into a hill, before traveling into the final inversion, a corkscrew. This is another strong inversion as the train whips you through this element. The ride ends with a quick helix right into the brake. When comparing this attraction to other inverted roller coasters, I gotta say this is one of the most intense, dare I even say the most intense inverted roller coaster. I think it beats out Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa with its snappy inversions. Ride intensity earns a 10 score. Fun factor. If you are a fan of inverted roller coasters, then Afterburn is going to be at the top of your list. I think this is one of the best inverted roller coasters out there, at least by judging it against other ones in the States. It's forceful, fast-paced, excellent use of terrain and foliage. The ride feels like it keeps gaining momentum right through that Batwing element. This category really comes down to preference, but for me, this is the pinnacle of inverted coasters, obviously earning a 10 score. Originality. Always the Achilles heel of B&M roller coasters. They tend to be very predictable, and for the most part, Afterburn falls into this trap. The first 5 inversions are basically copy and paste from Montu, with a vertical loop, Immelman, zero-G roll, and Batwing. After these elements, Afterburn changes it up slightly, allowing enough speed to fly through one more inversion, which is that corkscrew. Now, the Batwing is a pretty rare inversion on an invert. This and Montu, I believe, are the 2 only containing this element, however, it's still a predictable layout. The saving grace will be how snappy Afterburn flies through the elements. Their newer coasters tend to drag out the elements, but Afterburn feels super snappy and fast. I think it all just washes out with a middle-of-the-road score of 5. Ride smoothness. Afterburn is butter smooth. I experienced no rattle, no headbang of any kind. This is a great, smooth ride. The restraints are comfortable. Yeah, Afterburn gets a perfect 10 score for this category. Alright, the final score comes to 8.4, which is considered a good to great score. This is a solid inverted roller coaster full of fun, intense inversions. Now, I haven't brought this up yet, but the real negative I've experienced with Afterburn was the operations. My first visit back in 2021 had dispatches greater than 5 minutes. This year it improved, thankfully, now averaging around like 3 minutes. It's still better, but not the greatest. But if you can look past the operations, then you know this is a fantastic roller coaster. My personal score, Afterburn is going to earn a perfect 10. Comparing it with the other inverted roller coasters, this is at the top of my list. I put it up there with all the other greats, including Alpengeist, Great Bear, and Montu. Yeah, I've always said that Great Bear is my favorite inverted roller coaster, how after getting more rides in Afterburn, I think it's going to knock it off its mantle. Well, that's going to do it for my review of Afterburn. Tell me what you think of this inverted roller coaster down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click on that like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. That way you continue to get more great content brought to you by Xtreme Thrills.